Good morning. Thank you for spending this devotion time with me. Today, I want to talk to you about turning your weakness, what you think is the weakest thing about you, into the most powerful thing under the hand of God. How can we possibly do that? Paul taught us how. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. This is the answer he got from God. 3 times, get rid of this thorn. Get rid of this problem. Get rid of this thing. I want to challenge you this morning. Stop praying to get rid of something and ask God to use that thing. Whatever it is that you're praying to get rid of, God can use because He's the sovereign God that's allowed it, right? And so Paul said 3 times, I know you can get rid of it, I know you can get rid of it. God said, what did He say to him? My grace is sufficient for you, Paul. Listen to what he said. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Your weakness is like a magnet to God's strength. I want you to think about that. God wants to take what you think is the weakest part of you and use that dedicated to God to become your greatest strength. Who gets the glory then? God does, not you. You know what I find after pastoring for 30, 35 years or whatever? I find that most people are insecure. They don't feel like they look good enough. They don't feel like they have the talents. They feel inadequate in 1,000 different ways. And they compare themselves with other people. Perpetually they do that. Whereas God will give us a weakness to where we need God so much that we blow past all that insecurity because then we know it's of God. That's what He wants to do. Now, Fanny Crosby is one of my heroes. Here's a lady that was born back in 1820, and in 6 weeks, a doctor put some kind of mustard seed, some kind of mustard poultice on her eyes. And this poultice that was put on her eyes totally destroyed them. She's blind at 6 weeks old. What did she do? She wrote 9,000 hymns during her life. Up to now, she has sold 100 million copies of her songs. Now you think about that. What did she say? She said, it seemed to me that it was intended by the providence of God that I should be blind all my life, and I thank Him. If perfect sight were offered to me tomorrow, I would not accept it. I might have not sung these hymns to the praise of God if I had been distracted by the beautiful things around me. Now, when I think about this girl as a teenager, appeared before Quincy Adams as a president, before all the Congress, and she quoted her poems, they said that there was pandemonium in the overwhelming applause in that place, standing ovation forever, that she was frightened as a young teenage girl. Here is a girl that marveled her age and did what we could never possibly imagine somebody doing with the impediment of blindness, but she saw it as a gift. Now, I want to challenge you and me to take what we think are our weakest things about us and to dedicate those to God, leave the results to Him, and never give up trusting Him to apply this to something great. When I say those words, I think about Winston Churchill's speech, the most famous out of all the speeches he ever made. When he spoke to some cadet boys, he said the same phrase 3 times: never give up, never give up, never give up. And the overwhelming applause of the situation. I think about Beethoven when he wrote his Ninth Symphony, and he was almost totally deaf. Did you know that he sawed off the legs of his piano? And when he was pounding those piano keys for that Ninth Symphony, that it was so incredibly loud that everybody was saying, is the guy deaf? I mean, we can hear him forever around this place. It was unbelievable when he presented his Ninth Symphony. Standing ovation, he couldn't even hear it. They had to turn him around so that he could hear the applause. What was a weakness, God, through perseverance, persistence, in the lives of different people, has used to a great advantage. I don't know what you think your weakness is today, but God can use that to be an incredible strength. God bless you for sharing this devotion time with me today. And if God's blessed you with it, pass it on to somebody else that's struggling with this. Share it with them so that they too can overcome weakness and let God make it a strength. Bless you.